There's going to be a lot of discussion on this bill, so listen closely. Senator, you're recognized on Senate Bill 1620.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, the number of backyard chicken flocks in Texas has steadily...
We didn't hear you. The sound system is not working today. Could you speak slowly and a little higher level?
This really should have gone to local.
Please start over. I did not hear your opening line.
Thank you, Mr. President. The number of backyard chicken flocks in Texas has steadily increased in the past decade. The growth in popularity is due to citizens' desire for safe, fresh, homemade eggs. Several major cities in Texas, including El Paso, Austin, Houston, San Antonio, McAllen, and Dallas, allow chickens in residential areas. No significant issues have been raised by these cities as a result of backyard chickens. Many cities, however, still have outdated ordinances that ban chickens in residential areas within city limits. Senate Bill 1620 removes the prohibition of reasonable resident ownership of 6 or fewer backyard chickens while allowing individual municipalities to make practical requirements and regulations. Senate Bill 1620 supports the growing consumer desire to have cage-free organic products. It also gives students involved in Future Farmers of America and 4-H the freedom to raise chickens in their own backyards as pets for educational purposes or to show in local fairs. I move to suspend the Senate's regular order of business to take up and consider Senate Bill 1620.
Yeah, fat chance there, Senator. Senator Perry, gee, you're one of hundreds who want to speak on this bill.
Question for the author.
You yield.
I'm not a freshman. No, I yield.
You yield. So your bill speaks specifically to 6 chickens, correct?
Half a dozen.
So would it be a problem if your bill didn't specify what type of chicken, i.e. hen, rooster? Do you see the problem with that? If you allowed a rooster into the mix, you may be in violation of your bill.
Sure. So, well, Senator, the legislation does allow the municipality to ban roosters at its discretion. So, for instance, here in the city of Austin, it is legal to have roosters. But, for instance, in the city of Dallas, there's a ban on roosters. It's only chickens.
So do you not understand the complexity of allowing a rooster with a hen and why you may be out of compliance shortly? You might want to clarify that it needs to be all hens or you're going to have a problem. There you go.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Members in the gallery, understand every bill is important to someone. I just want you to know this. Senator Hall.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Taylor, I truly feel this is an exceptional piece of legislation. And I thank you for bringing it to the floor. How did you hatch this idea? But I would like to peck at it a little bit. Do you count the chickens before they're hatched? Does this include 6 eggs, egg included, chickens?
Well, Senator, I try not to count my chickens before they're hatched, so
In putting this bill together, did you ignore any stakeholders in the issue?
I'm going to have to chicken out of that question.
This has turned into hee-haw. This is not good.
I am extremely excited to vote for this exceptional bill. But when it passes, I hope we don't have to hear you crow about it. And I do hope that you recoup from the chicken feed and the fiscal note.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Senator Hall.
And I will point out that there was some discussion about renaming this the Chicken Owner Ordinance Protection Act, or the COOP Act.
Senator West, I can hardly wait for your questions.
Senator, as it relates to this chicken bill that you have on the floor, I just want to know, I thought I heard you tell Senator Perry that this applied to a half a dozen chickens?
Minimum of 6 chickens. Yes, it does.
All right. Is that with or without fries? Have you consulted some of my friends in Louisiana? Have you consulted with Popeye's Chicken about this?
This is not a vendor bill.
Have you consulted with Church's Chicken about this?
I have not.
You have not. Will they be impacted in any way by the implementation of this legislation in cities?
They have not, but I will point out to you that Chairman Nichols has joint authored this bill with me, and I really appreciate his support for this important legislation.
I don't understand. What's the correlation between Chairman Nichols and Church's Chicken and Popeye's Chicken?
Just saying.
Oh, I got it. Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? Thank you, Mr. President.
This wasn't inspired by two cows holding up a sign, "Eat more chicken," was it? Let's go to Senator Colcourse, and all yokes aside, can we kind of be focused on this?
Thank you, Mr. President. I really am not. I'm so glad that an urban member brought a bill such as this, and I'm going to give a serious twist to it, okay? I do think that it is important, and while it's quite a funny bill that we have to give people permission to be able to raise some of their own food. And as the original co-chair of the Farm to Table Caucus from the House, I'm really pleased that you brought this. So there are some cities that are limiting the ability to have chickens in the backyard. Is that correct?
There are. Not many, but there are some in Texas that do.
So this is really just saying to cities, everybody, if they want to raise have 6, I don't know why you picked 6, but okay. And it doesn't say specificity of gender or sexuality, right? I mean, it does not, right? You can have roosters.
No bathroom amendments, please.
Good. But I am serious about this. I want to thank you for bringing this because you mentioned the importance of what it can teach for children. And I actually had a niece in Fort Worth, right there by TCU, that had chickens, and they ended up, they had eggs, and they were able to enjoy those and give them to friends. And it was really, their kids learned a lot, but more importantly, it was a food source for them. And I think this is a kind of a liberty thing. If you want to raise your own food, you ought to be able to. Thank you so much.
Thank you for a serious and kind comment.
Senator Garcia, for what purpose?
To ask the author a couple of questions, and mine are semi-serious.
I yield.
Senator, I just wondered what was magic about 6. How did you reach that threshold of 6?
Sure. So we actually looked at the ordinances for most cities around the state, and sort of the average was around 6. And so it's actually based on ordinances for cities around the state.
So when we count the 6, does that include little chicks or just chickens?
It is 6 total chickens. So chicks or chickens, I think, would be the total number of 6.
Right. The reason I was asking, because I know that it's close to Easter, and many times kids buy either the little rabbit or the little chicks. So if they buy the little chicks and there's already 6 chickens, are they going to be in violation of the ordinance?
Well, it depends on. So there are many cities in the state that actually have unlimited number of chickens. What's ironic is that as we looked at the different ordinances, we're talking to cities that actually you could have an unlimited number of falcons, an unlimited number of eagles, an unlimited number of chickadees, an unlimited number of parakeets, but you could not have a single chicken. Okay. And so that's why we're doing this.
Well, because like others here, I was raised in the country, and I have very fond memories of raising little chicks to chickens and looking for eggs and the whole experience. So I don't want to deprive any child in the state of that experience. So I plan to support you, Bill, but I think you need to maybe think about amending it later to maybe even more than 6, because it's always cheaper by the dozen. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Wow.
You're welcome, Senator Garcia. Senator Uresti. For what purpose?
Will the gentleman yield, please?
I yield.
Senator Taylor, this bill was recommended for the local calendar. Why aren't you passing it off of local?
I was concerned about some foul play. Somebody might be taking it off the local calendar.
So why are you trying to pass this bill on the intent calendar today?
I'm sorry, Senator, you need to be more clear. Do you mean pull it or pull it?
No, I said, why are you trying to pass it on the intent calendar today? What's the purpose of passing it today?
Oh, so it can get to the other side.
And who would carry this bill over in the House, Senator Taylor?
We're talking to Representative Linda Coop.
I don't have any other questions, Mr. President.
Appreciate that, Senator. You don't have any other questions. Senator Betancourt.
Senator, I'll say I rise to ask you a question.
Here we go. I yield.
I just heard something astounding. I say Linda Coop is carrying this bill?
We are in discussions with her office.
Now, I say there's something that's really important that we talk about right now. And I say you mentioned a whole variety of chickens when you spoke to Senator Garcia's concerns about urban chickens, but you did not mention the most devious chicken of all. I say, in nowhere did you mention the word chicken hawk. I say, foghorn, leghorn. I have a real fear of chicken hawks. Will you amend your bill to include chicken hawks as part of your 6 chickens?
I'm not accepting any amendments because I don't want to.
I say, you got to refer to a script, to a cartoon character, sir?
Well, look, I don't want to put the cart before the horse here and accept any amendments.
I say,
pass a clean bill.
I say, sir, you've been talking too long. I just don't know what else to say except I just lay down my microphone.
Thank you.
If anyone else passes a chicken bill that allows him to do that impression again, it will not make it to the floor. Senator Taylor, you're recognized to suspend the regular order of business. Any objections? Hearing none. Thank you. Merciful. Thank you.